I call up the Chungas, I call up the Norris, I call up the Aidens, said I'm about to go dumb. So, welcome back to Jayco video. Today I wanted to talk about a documentary I just saw. It's by Mike Klum. It's the dark, sad life of Boogie2988. Well, we have put together. You know, Mike Klum's obviously like a talented guy, but I was watching it and I got like so many weird thoughts about the whole notion of it, because I recommend, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out now. It's well done, you know, it's a good documentary. There's clearly some very talented people working on it, but I got some other weird thoughts because it's about this guy called Boogie2988. I think if you're familiar with him, he's like kind of like a lol cow, you know, somebody just has kind of made bad decisions over and over again in their lives. And I was thinking about the idea of making a documentary like this in the first place, because this is not like one of these like Sunny V2 videos where somebody just covers somebody else. This is with the direct sign-off of Boogie himself. Like, Boogie has promoted this documentary. It's his banner on Twitter and YouTube, I'm pretty sure. He's posted some clips on his channel, which, by the way, I find kind of weird because this is like kind of a total character assassination. Like, nobody can watch this documentary and go away thinking that Boogie's a nice guy, because he's not. That documentary kind of proves, I think, to anybody who watches it, that he's pretty manipulative. And for me personally, I was never a big fan of like the whole lol cow idea. I don't like kind of jumping people digitally. I don't like the whole idea of just A-logging somebody forever. And I think people who like, you know, interfere, especially in like these whole lol cow concepts, are kind of weird, right? Like, I feel like, as weird as Chris Chan is, I think people like Chris Chan attract people that are almost as weird, if you guys know what I mean. Like, where it seems like you have to be kind of deranged yourself to obsess over somebody to that degree, where you make these elaborate things, right? Especially in like such a big scale, when there's like a whole community just revolving that person. But Boogie, this documentary it's I think, from my perspective, it kind of seemed like he was trying to redeem himself. Like, we get a lot of insights into like his mental state and everything, but from my perspective, it just kind of seems like it's him trying to get everybody to feel bad for himself. Like, we see him sitting alone in the dark in his room holding like a can of soda, talking about how much his life sucks. It's him listing every single problem he has, every single medical condition. And if you look at Boogie, it's clear he's got some problems, right? I think he clocks in at around 400 pounds. I think he used to be even as heavy as 600. That obviously is a result of some form of, you know, mental strain. I don't want to, you know, prescribe anything, but I think, you know, in the case of Boogie, what frustrates me about watching a documentary like this is it's somebody just rolling around in their pity, you know? It's not somebody who's kind of trying to improve themselves, which makes me sad, because I don't like seeing people do bad. I don't think anybody does. I want to see people succeed, you know, fundamentally. And while I was watching this, I kept thinking, you know, this whole Boogie lol cow thing has been going on for what now, like 4 years, I want to say. Like, people have turned against him a minute ago. I think this has been happening since 2018, 2019. But I don't think he wants to change. Like, when you get this insight into his personality, it's just, he's always waiting for this little moment, this little one thing that's gonna change everything. In one point, it's like the boxing thing or whatever. At the next one, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do mushrooms now, it's gonna fix everything. But I think Boogie's like a good case study of somebody who just truly doesn't want to change. You know, they like the idea of change, but then want to go out and do it. And that just depresses me, really. Like, I could not consume his content without getting really sad. I think the documentary talks about some other good points. Like, for example, it talks about how the idea of like the life cycle of the YouTuber, you know. You get famous, you do really well, but at one point you always fall off, you know. For some people, you know, this is like the moment where they start experimenting, where they start trying to push through, but there's always a fall off, you know, even if it's just for a little bit. But at one point you can't grind anymore, you can't do more stuff. And that is obviously depressing, you know, especially somebody who, you know, would love to kind of do this as a career. You know, I'm worried about spreading myself too thin anyways, with like fucking 3 different active channels right now. But it's just very sad. And I kept thinking while watching it that I think Boogie could genuinely turn everything around if he just started vlogging his progress, right? Because, you know, I do personally like totally believe that, you know, if this man lost some weight, I think a lot of his problems would probably go back, right? Because I think when you're 400 pounds, right, when you don't go outside at all, when you only drink soda, when you only roll around in your pity, when you can't get out of the bathtub, like all this nasty stuff, man. And I don't want to make fun of somebody else's body. That's something I do not like doing. I don't want to shame him or something, but it just depresses me. I don't know. I hope Boogie can turn the stuff around. I don't know if that's possible still. You know, I think true change always comes from within. I've tried helping so many people in my life with stuff. I've tried to assist so many of my friends with their problems. I have made the realization too that, you know, change is not gonna happen if that person doesn't want to change, you know. And this might be kind of a corny rant, but I just kind of felt the need to put that out there, you know. Where with Boogie, you just see all of this stuff that's just not good for your soul. I think I think it's good for your soul to just keep looking at this negativity. And I'm somebody, you know, I consider myself to be kind of weak-hearted with things like this. Like, obviously, when he talks about like how he doesn't have any money, how he's bankrupt, how he's doing, how everything is just going fucking awfully for him. I want to support, I want to help him. I don't want to see somebody else decline, but I think we all need to accept at one point that, you know, we genuinely are. I mean, it's repeated so many times that we are just, you know, the creators of our own destiny. Yeah, so this was just my little thoughts on the documentary. It's a great one. You should definitely check it out. A lot of talented people have definitely worked on it, despite I didn't want to show any clips because I don't want to kind of spoil the experience for you. It's really interesting. Obviously not if you're like somebody who's like super prone to like depressed about the shit like I do. But yeah, see you into the next one. Thanks for watching, boys. Bye bye.